Hello everyone and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts number 413. I am super excited as I'm sure you are. I can't even talk. We have a new planet reveal, Gleba. So finally, it is the week where we get a new planet reveal. This is much in the form of how Fulgura was revealed, where it's kind of some backstory on the development of it a little bit, and then an introduction, a very kind of uh, story-like introduction to it by Arendelle. And then next week we'll probably get the reveals of like the actual buildings you unlock and stuff. But even without those being shown this week, it is still super interesting, really exciting. So why don't we just hop right into it? So this first section here is by Albert. And I am going to read a lot of this, even though it's fairly long, just because I think it's important to capture, all these details that they mentioned. So making a new world in Factorio is relatively easy. Just create a new set of tile sets for the ground, add some new models for trees, create a bunch of new decoratives, etc. You get a new planet. Well, to be fair, you also have to play with the terrain generation, noise, and autoplays algorithms, experiment with proper LUTs, and adding some new shader won't hurt either if you want to succeed. The problem of making it more from this simplistic perspective is the danger of falling into a superficial automatism. So probably all your planets will end up looking the same, just different colors. And Gleba is the one planet that has all the things we need to make a new novice-like planet Factorio, but is still different on many levels. What makes Gleba very special, at least to me, is how we twisted the core concept of the planet and pushed necessary elements in a specific way to make it more unique. Before having its final name, Gleba was internally called a biological planet, right? And the obvious direction for that would be a planet looking like a jungle. This would be fine for a new biome and novice, but for an exotic planet, never explored and full of life more than ever, this time we need something more alien looking. With not too many cliches in it, extra extravagant, and if possible playing with new color palettes, etc., but also some link to the reality of novice, and it needs to look very different from novice, of course, right? So we started to think about the microcosmos of the world of lichen, fungi, and algae under the sea, something that exists in our reality, which it's believably already, but has all the requirements mentioned above. So super interesting already. And we kind of see a screenshot here. Now, personally, I would actually have loved a jungle planet. I'm not at all upset with what they give us, though. It's amazing. So I just want to say that I think a jungle planet would have been cool, but I think that they have a good direction going already. So there is a video here. I did download it. I think my internet is being really crappy right now, so it was just like buffering over and over and over again. So I decided to just download it, and we'll just watch it here locally. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this over so we can just watch it like that. So why don't we go ahead and full screen this? And it is fairly long. I may skip parts of it, but maybe not. So let me, this is maybe gonna be kind of loud. Let's just do that. All right. So pretty interesting. I love the music. We did hear it in a previous Friday Facts where they went over the space age music creation with Petra, which is Peter, which is super super fitting for this planet. And there's some really interesting stuff here. So they purposely kind of avoided showing us like this area and particularly this stuff, which is really interesting. We'll kind of have maybe a little better idea of what's going on there as we read farther down. Now, one thing I did notice is if we apparently, apparently the whole thing's just broken, so that's great. But I have no idea why it will not play. But anyway, so if we maybe we can just skip to it in like this video. I saw like, I don't know if you noticed, but there was some white type resources in here. So if this will work, let's back it up a little bit. Dude, this is so loud. Holy cow. Yeah, like right here. So I kind of think this may be a new mineable resource. I mean, well, this is maybe a little late, but it did definitely look like it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. This looks like something you can maybe mine. Maybe it is just ground cover and stuff like that. But I think this is maybe something you can mine. We did see stone, right? And it looks like maybe some coal here too. But yeah, very alive. Lots of algae and lichen, fungi, huge like mushroom looking things. So this is already pretty interesting. Now, they made an effort in the video showing what exactly we have in mind for the look and feel Gleba. The plan is a work in progress, but we better show it now because we obviously they need to start showing it in future posts to like show other stuff, right? The map was handmade, but with a realistic vision of the autoplace algorithm and the map generation. The trees used are concept art as placeholders, although honestly I think they look decent. The cliffs are also placeholders. Some tile sets will get tweaked to integrate them better. And some doodads modified, color grading is less or more missing, and the rain shader on the ground will be tweaked. Now, I will say, the water on the ground looks absolutely fantastic. If I apologize, my internet is just, this is like really bad timing. My internet is dying. Yeah, right here. Okay, so that's perfect. This looks so good. Having this like just water here, kind of like a swamp, right, is this just looks so, so good. I absolutely love this. And then they say, for a planetful life more than ever, now it looks very static. But we are planning on adding some more animated things to really bring life to the experience. And overall, we are avoiding to show on purpose the red area of the planet. Look at the map during the last frames of the video. That one is too early to show. And yeah, I think like near the last frames of the video, you kind of, I mean, yeah, like this looks pretty crazy, whatever that is. And the video would be 55% worse if it weren't for Petra and wouldn't have composed and recorded this soundtrack for Gleba, right? So now we go down from Arendelle, okay? So this is kind of a story-like thing, but does give us some interesting ideas of what we can expect here. So welcome to Gleba. Your descent ends in an unsettling splash. Fortunately, we're not sinking, and the noise of your landing pod spool down and fade into the soothing sound of rain. The hatch opens to reveal a green, swampy landscape shrouded in a light mist. The air is thick and humid, carrying the muffled cries of unseen animals from far away. You leave your pod and wade through the shallow, murky turquoise water. There's so much vegetation and detritus floating on the surface that it's difficult to see the bottom, even though in most places it's barely up to your knees. And it almost feels like whatever is below the surface is squirming under you. Strange, twisted fungi grow out of the water, snaking and undulating as they rise like malformed trees. Hair-like tendrils droop down from the ends of the slender branches, caressing you with a sticky mucus as you try to make your way beneath them. So, I mean, yeah, like basically the entire planet sounds alive, and it's their choice of image is really good because you can see exactly what Arendelle's describing here, right? You climb the shore, and although you're out of the water, this can hardly be called dry land. The wet, rubbery ground squelches beneath your feet like olive blubber. The landscape is covered by a tangled network of root-like mycelium and thick mats of various colorful lichen. This complex interweaving carpet is home to all manner of tiny animals that skitter inside to avoid your gaze. Presumably mostly insects and amphibians. Their chirps and hisses signal their annoyance as you step nearby. This area is dominated by fungal cups that catch the rain and stew their own little ecosystems. Many of them are smaller than a hand, but the largest of them are huge funnel trunks of bark-like material. Their structure riddled with holes and infested with small pink wormy things. So you can see there's like weird worms kind of infesting these. The occasional slime mold blankets a large area of the terrain with a sticky yellow slime, sickly yellow slime. Its surface is dotted with the occasional balloon of gas. Right, so kind of this stuff here. The surface starts to firm up as you make your way out of the lowlands, becoming more like a spongy bark. The vegetation shapes of this area are more wispy and fragile. Desaturated shades of green and teal give the region a beautiful but ghostly appearance. Towering stalks of lichen fan out at the top like a translucent umbrella, always splitting into 5 branches before sending down tough, stinging fronds. So these things look ouchy, if you ask me. This is going to be super interesting here. And yeah, and again, keep in mind, like, the cliffs and some of this is definitely a work in progress. Going higher still, the ground is drier. In this area, the incessant rain of the planet is reduced to a faint spitting. Groundwater is quickly absorbed into the pitted rock-like surface, making this first place look like solid footing. On closer inspection, the ground appears to be a giant merged mass of dark gray stromatolites. I think that's like in the family of like stalactites, maybe. I think it's these things. It seems that every part of this place is alive. Large towers of beige sponge reach out for the sky, filtering the air and releasing spores into the gentle breeze. Vibrant yellow bulb-like creatures erupt from their pores near their tops, almost like flowers blooming in the sun. As you can see here, and we move down to these like weird mushroom things. On the other side of the hill, landscape shifts to autumnal hues. The lichen mats here are crusty orange. The ground is pierced by many thorny vines of dark fungal mycelium, which surround and guard their fruiting body, which sags on the ground like a large, soft red grape. The largest mushrooms here have bulbous trunks that support a huge inflated spore sac. In many cases, new sacs grow on top of the previous growth in precarious stack of balloons ready to rupture. So that sounds ominous. Some poisonous gas, perhaps, here. The way forward leads to lower ground once again, but here the swampy wetlands has more red than greens. Delicate blankets of translucent pink lichen flop helplessly like seaweed on the floor, their fan-like shape contorted into a mass of slippery wrinkles. So thick, squishy carpet of pink and red lichen bulges when stepped on. The paler areas are almost translucent, revealing the root systems under the surface. Here, the root-like mycelium is looking more like tentacle-like and spongy. This area is infested with varying sizes of tubular coral that are eager to protrude above the water surface. The water-dwelling examples are more vibrant, and the land versions are more sticky, as you can see here, right? So definitely kind of weird, creepy tentacle vibes going on. Along with the sound of rain and various animal calls have been your constant companions so far. Mysterious distant wails and cries once formed a background chatter, but now one of the sounds is noticeably close to the source cannot be seen, but it abruptly breaks into a trumpeting scream. The small creatures lurking into the lichen undergrowth suddenly go silent. Now there's a new sound, the sound of great waves crashing, followed by an earth-shaking stomp, 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 stomp. And there we go. So, I'm sure you can't wait to concrete this place, so as always, wait through the other feedback and rain your thoughts down upon us. I always love the puns. This is super interesting. So, what I'm getting from this is probably maybe some sort of like huge sea monster Godzilla type thing. I know that's like super not it's not obviously going to be Godzilla or maybe anything close to that, but like I can't tell now. Keep in mind I am dyslexic, so I maybe, well, when I struggle reading, that's my excuse for that. But also, and this maybe is just like a description of sound, but like I'm almost taking this literally, like the sound of great waves crashing, because it's not using this to describe the stomps, because it said then followed by the stomps, right? So like I wonder if it's like the sound of like some massive creature like coming out of the water, and then kind of like Godzilla, and then like the stomp is this thing like, you know, moving up the shore and towards you. I don't know. I think this is really interesting, and I honestly can't give too much more of a guess of what this could be because there's a lot of directions this still could go based on what they've said. But what we can be sure of is we're gonna need some serious napalm, flamethrowers, nukes, anything else we can throw because I get the feeling this is going to be one scary place. Like, I mean, it is, kind of organic, natural, and there may not be. Now, we did see enemies. I think these are maybe placeholders. They did say that, like, it's kind of in development and still, so this maybe was just, like, not even going to be like that. So keep that in mind because those are enemy bases, but who knows, right? Or it could be the new enemies, right? But I think this is going to be, like, a pretty tough planet in terms of fighting, especially if there's some boss like, which it definitely sounds like. Like this, if there's going to be a boss in the game, like this is what it would be described, right? You wouldn't be describing anything on novice like this. So this is super interesting. I really really want to hear your thoughts down below. Leave them for the devs on the forum and Reddit as well. But I want to hear your guesses. Like, what do you think this is? Do you think it's some sort of crazy sea creature like coming out? I definitely think it has some sort of connection with the kind of pink reddish stuff in the vines. And like I said, if you scroll up here to the video, you can see there's like this ground, which is kind of what we just saw below, but then there's this like weird pink goop stuff. And oh man, I don't know. This is super interesting. This I think is the water, I think it's this. It looks kind of like polluted water, but man, this is going to be super interesting. So we can definitely assume that we are getting the third processing building, right? We have the electromagnetic plant and then the foundry. And the other two we're going to be getting, my guess would be some sort of chemical plant type thing, like an upgraded version, because this is a very, seems like somewhere where you're going to be doing like a lot of biological chemistry processing stuff. So I think probably something in that vein and maybe some other stuff, definitely some new mechanics as well, right? It's definitely new resources. We didn't see too much of a hint of new resources aside from what I thought was that like white resource. So it's possible that maybe the like landscape itself is resources. Like maybe you can harvest like just the trees and all the vegetation and turn it into something, or the water or this goop, whatever this is. So yeah, I'm super interested. I cannot wait till next week to see like the actual like gameplay mechanics and buildings and stuff we get from this. And even though it's in work in progress, like the planet itself, it still looks super good. I think like areas like this are just absolutely amazing. So I cannot wait to find out more, and I hope you guys feel the same way. And if you do, definitely drop a like on the video. I think this is going to do it. We are at about 20 minutes. It's actually faster than I thought it'd be, but again, without all that reveal, there's not too much more to go into here. I do like the varying landscapes a lot, like all on the same planet. We have like this type of thing, and then it goes more into this. So there's a huge variation in the landscape, which is really nice, and differs it from the other planets excuse me, as well. And the rain too. We've never had rain in Factorio without mods. So this is gonna be. Oh, I know. I keep saying this is gonna be interesting. I can't wait. But like that's just the thoughts running through my head over and over again right now. Is I think this is gonna be a really fun one, especially with the enemies involved, because this sounds. Man, this sounds like a big boy. This sounds like a big boss type monster of some sort. So that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I cannot wait till next week. And yeah, if you have any thoughts, definitely leave them below. I love to read all of your thoughts, theories, questions, ideas, all that stuff. And if you did enjoy again, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, feel free to keep up with all future content. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.